Hello, welcome to everybody. So glad that you're here today to hear this exciting information. This is about some wonderful stem cell technology. And when I first tried the stem cell patch, my knee was hurting. I put it on, and when I woke up the next morning, I was surprised because I had slept through the entire night. And then I took it off and just forgot about it. But 11 days later, when I was in the kitchen, I made a sharp pivot and this pain shot through my knee. And I said, oh, my knee hasn't been hurting me for 10 whole days. So I was really excited about that. And now that I've been using it, I'm looking for more and more things to happen. And because I'm new at this, I am just ecstatic that we have Radita Monk. She's has reached one of the highest levels in the company. She knows all the information. She loves people, and she's kindly regarded to come and tell us all about this new stem cell technology. Perdita, it's yours.
Well, thank you, Brenda. Thank you so much for that awesome introduction. I'm so excited, about your future, and your excitement is just contagious. Just watching you from a distance, you have been very inquisitive, very curious about everything that we're talking about. And I'm just so excited that there are people on this call that are now going to be hearing about this just because of you. So thank you so much for putting this together, Brenda. And now I'm going to tell everybody a little bit about my story and how I got here. All right. So again, I'm Verdita Monk. I live in Atlanta, Georgia, with my husband, Harvey. And let me tell you how we got introduced to this patch, which you're going to be hearing about. My husband and I are friends with a gentleman by the name of Ken Robinson. And Ken reached out to us one day when we had not heard from him in over a year. So definitely, raised our eyebrows. Hey, Ken, what's going on? And so he says, I've got something you got to try. And he was referring to this little bitty patch that we're going to be talking about. This tiny little patch. That's the subject of today. And so he said, you need to try this patch. And we wonder, why do we need this patch? He said, you'll find out. And so he invited us to a call similar to this. And we got on that call. We heard some phenomenal testimonies of things that had transformed people's lives in ways that you had not imagined. And so it was really interesting what we were hearing. Well, we were about to go out of town to Milwaukee, Wisconsin, where my in-laws live. We walked into the door. My mother-in-law, who never really complains about anything, no ailments at all of a sudden, her knee was hurting so bad. She'd been to the doctor. He prescribed medications that did not work for some reason. And she was in excruciating pain, almost in tears. So we looked at each other and say, this helped so many other people. Why don't we put this patch on her? So we put the patch on her and put her to bed. She's 95 years old. We put her to bed and so that she could rest. And the next morning she woke up and said that the pain, it had gone away, and she did not get up all during the night putting ointments and things on her knee as she always did. Well, we decided, okay, well, maybe we ought to wear this patch. Now, the reason we were even hesitant to use it is because we didn't have any pains or illnesses or anything like that. We thought, okay, this patch is for people who are sick or have something going on in their body. But little did we know what was about to happen. So we put this patch on that evening and went to bed. And that particular night, something very unusual happened. Well, my husband did not snore at all that night. And my husband was a chronic snorer. He was choking and coughing all during the night with acid reflux, but snoring so loud that I could not be in the same room with him most of the time. And it was just terrible. And when he wake up choking and coughing, it was scary because I thought, I didn't know what was happening to him. I thought he might have died or something the way he was coughing. So do you know that he did not snore or cough at all that night? And so we didn't think about it. I mean, I know that I slept real deeply, and it didn't dawn on me that he had not snored, even though this had gone on for 10 years. The next night we put the patch on again, and the same thing happened. And can you believe this? That was November of 2022. And my husband has not snored since. But what happened after putting this patch on and seeing what it did for us, we said, you know what? We're hearing some incredible things besides what's happening to us. there's no way we can keep this a secret. We got to tell everybody we knew. And so we decided that we were going to, be ambassadors for this and just jump right in and spread the word. And that's what Brenda did with you. She invited you because she is spreading the word. So I'm going to move right on into our presentation so that we can get this information to you. Now, have you been patched yet? You may not have been patched, but if you haven't, you're going to be patched, very soon. But this is what's going to happen when you get patched. Let me explain what we mean about being patched and why you want to be patched. So here's the thing. As we get older, we start experiencing all these different ailments or diseases or things that we may not be as prevalent when we're younger. And the reason that we start seeing these things happening to us is because our bodies are aging, and the mechanism that's within our body called stem cells are not working anymore. And that's just a fact. As we get older, those stem cells become dormant. And so what people with crisis situations like maybe paralysis or cancer or, different things like that, those are kind of, I would consider those crisis situations. Some of those people have been exposed to something called stem cell injections. And they do that because they have no way out. Many doctors have exhausted everything that they can do to help those people. And so those people are willing to get a stem cell injection. And why do they do that? Is because why would they even want to do it? Because stem cell injections are very expensive. They can range from $5,000 up to $100,000. In addition to that, they're not insured. Insurance doesn't cover it. But many times they don't even work. Maybe 30% of the time, those injections do not work. They're also localized, meaning if you've got a pain in your knee and bone on bone or whatever, you get an injection, it's not going to help you with your Alzheimer's, or it's not going to help you with your heart or something like that. But that's what this patch will do. It's not localized. It's systematic. So that means that anywhere in your body, if you put this patch on, it's going to help all those things that are wrong with your body. So when you put this patch on, your body has something inside of it called copper peptides. And scientists proved years ago that if the copper peptides within our body were elevated, that will in turn reactivate the stem cells that are needed to regenerate our body and restore it back to good health. That's why you want to be patched, okay? And this is why we're all so, have been dealing with all these ailments, because we just don't have the stem cells in our body. This page right here shows you that, see, by the time we're age 30, half of our stem cells are dormant. They're not working anymore. And by the time we're 60, that's when you start seeing people with dementia and all kinds of things that they did not experience when they're older. So as we get old, the slower we're going to heal. And that's why we need this patch. Now, I want to introduce you to someone. I told you a minute ago that scientists said that nobody could ever come up with a way to elevate the copper peptides, which are going to reactivate the stem cells in our bodies. But David Schmidt, he was able to do that. See, this man is really very brilliant, and we just consider him a genius because it took him 10 years to create this patch. But listen, before that patch, let me tell you what he was doing. He was hired by the federal government to assist with a project for the Navy SEALs. That just shows you how credible he was for them to seek him out. And he created the very first patch called the Energy Enhancer Patch. And that was such a huge success that it spread all over to all kinds of doctors and some of the top coaches in universities around the world. And they all, were able to give them to their athletes. Athletes are, they're really careful what you're going to give to athletes, because they don't want something that's any type of, steroids or medication, anything like that. They don't want to put those in their body. But this patch is different. I'm going to tell you in a minute what this patch is made of. So along those, when he first started, until now, he's created he has 180 patents. And in 2008, he started focusing on stem cell research. So when he created the X39, this was his 39th product, and he has a patent on it. And this patent literally says right here, right in the middle, it says elevating copper peptides, including activation of stem cells. That's the part that was miraculous. That's the whole miracle behind this whole thing. Nobody could do it, remember. Now, whenever you have a patent, it simply means you have to prove it. And this is why we've had over 80 case studies. Took him 10 years with some of the most prolific doctors in the world conducting these case studies. And in the case studies, all these things happen. Now, for 17 years, LifeWave, our company, is the only company that can, market this product. No one can duplicate it. No one can duplicate this patent. Now, how does this work? I remember telling you a minute ago that what is in this patch? Nanocrystals. They're formulated in an FDA registered lab. And so what is in this? So these crystals, let me tell you how it works. You put the patch on, and because these are crystals, this is a form of phototherapy. What happens when you put the patch on, the light of your body, because we do have light in our body, it reflects off those crystals. And so these are nanocrystals, very tiny. When it reflects off the light, that elevates the copper peptides in our body, which in turn reactivate our stem cells. That is so phenomenal, you guys. You have to understand how phenomenal that is. But there's nothing transdermal about this. Nothing goes into your body. No drugs, no chemicals, no stimulants, non-invasive. And this is why doctors like it, because if they are prescribing medication to their patients, they know that this patch is not going to interfere at all with the prescription, because there's nothing in the patch. So this is not intended to, we're not intending to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or medical condition. All we're saying is this patch is going to reboot your body and allow it to heal itself. So now there are many benefits of this patch. Many of us have experienced everything that's on this page, including increased strength. As we get older, we're not as strong, right? Reduce inflammation. Anytime you have pain or any type of disease, there's going to be some inflammation around. Increased energy, stamina, rather, energy and vitality and mental clarity. Me personally, I'm an interior designer, and I have a lot of details that I work with on a daily basis. I mean, I'm, dealing with big renovations and just all kinds of stuff. And I used to get overwhelmed because it was so much to manage. But now I'm just as cool and calm because I know it's going to get done. I'm not, and also I don't forget things when I go into another room. I used to forget what I went into the room to get, but now I don't have to deal with that anymore. Restored muscular and skeletal conditions. Do you realize that as we get older, our bones get more porous, and something called osteoporosis can step in? And you don't want that to happen. And this is why the X39 is important, because it's going to restore those. So think about this. Even if you're not that age yet, you don't want that condition to happen. So that's why you want to start now. Improvement of sleep. I told you about my husband and my experience with sleep, and that is a real thing. I have dreams almost every night and sleep so deeply that I'm saying, when I wake up, I'm saying, wow, I feel like I've been sleeping all day because it's such a deep sleep, but I've only been sleeping, maybe 8 hours, 7 or 8 hours. Improved skin appearance. We got many people with conditions like vitiligo, where their skin is discolored, 2 or 3 different tones of color, and this patch has restored their skin. I mean, like within 3 months back to normal. People with acne and all kinds of skin diseases that people have had. I mean, some amazing testimonies on that. So we're here to achieve optimal health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. And again, we're not saying that these products are curing or healing anything. We're just rebooting the body, okay? Now, remember I told you there were over 80 case studies. Well, in those case studies, these are things that actually happen. For example, the first few days, 4,000 genes begin to reset. Within 6 weeks, the brain becomes balanced. Do you know anybody with an unbalanced brain? Do you know anybody that has PTSD, who's autistic? Do you know anyone that has Alzheimer's or dementia? Do anyone know anyone that's depressed? All of those reflect a brain that's unbalanced. So it's not uncommon for people to have an unbalanced brain. And then some of the people that that act kind of crazy, that's probably why, because their brain is unbalanced. Within 3 months, your collagen is increased. See, the collagen in our body connects everything and connects our muscles, our bones, everything about our body is made up of collagen. So it's very important that within 3 months, it is increasing. Within 6 months, the heart reverses in age. Now, I really want to get your attention on that one because this, not just your heart, but other organs in your body. I want to tell you a quick story about my friend Jeffrey. Jeffrey was diabetic for 10 years, and about 3.5 years ago, he had a stroke. And when he had this stroke, it left him paralyzed on his whole left side. He had to learn how to walk again, how to talk again, how to eat again. They did not let him leave the hospital without a pacemaker. And so when he was on this, so after when he left the hospital, they gave him, they said every 6 months we need you to come see the cardiologist. And at this time, his friend gave him this patch. And 6 weeks later, when he went to the cardiologist said, what are you doing? Because your heart is no longer relying on that pacemaker. Isn't that amazing? No longer relying on a pacemaker. He couldn't believe, so he told him about the patch and came back. He says, you don't have to come back for a year instead of 6 weeks. For 3 years, he was seeing him every 6 weeks, and now every year. He went back in February, which was about a year from the last time he had gone. And the doctor said, you don't have to come back for 2 years. That's what I mean when I say the heart reverses in age. In other words, the stem cells that are being regenerated, your brain tells your stem cells to go to the heart, go to Jeffrey's heart and help his heart, because that's where he needs it. So your stem cells go wherever your body needs it. That's what they do. Now you're looking at a map right here called a topography map. And on this map, they put an X39 patch on the back of a lady's neck. She's 77 years old. Now she came in there with a hyperactive brain. And this area right here that's orange reflects inflammation in her brain. And so this was the first, and she had lack of brain coherence. Second session, 3 weeks later, there was no more inflammation, no more red, and improved brain coherence. But then 3 more weeks later, which is a total of 6 weeks being on this patch, she had a complete turnaround. Her brain had a better coherence. So once again, her brain was hyperactive, but it calmed down after that second visit. This could be your brain. This could be your heart. This could be your lungs. Any part of your body could have inflammation in it, and that's what is causing these illnesses. Now, how do you wear this patch? It's very, very simple. You can literally put this anywhere on your body. You can put it on your wrist. You can put it on your chest. You can put it on your belly button. You can put it behind it, wherever you want to. And you're looking at these 2 locations that are highlighted because when they did the case studies, they needed to be consistent. So they had a group A and a group B. And the group A put it below the belly button. Group B put it behind the neck on the C7 vertebrae. So you wear this patch for 12 hours. You can put it on at 8 o'clock in the morning when you go to bed. When you wake up, and then 8 o'clock at night when you go to bed. But what you want to do, you just throw that patch away and get a whole nother patch, because these patches come in packages of 30. So this is a whole month supply. Throw it away. The next morning, put another patch on. But here's the thing. You must be hydrated. You need to drink plenty of water. Why? Because this patch, we're talking about energy flowing through your body. It needs the water to flow. In addition to that, it's going to be detoxifying your body. It's going to be pushing the toxins out. So it's very important that you drink plenty of water to flush those toxins out. Now, I could literally go on and on with all this technical information, but I want you to know this. We're going to make this real simple for you, because we have some people on this call that have had some tremendous results. You heard Brenda's testimony, but I have a couple other people I want you to hear from, so you can hear some real life people, even besides my testimony, of what this patch is doing for these people. So the first person I want to call on the phone, on the Zoom, is Miss Gwen Millsap out of North Carolina. And Gwen, if you would unmute yourself and share your video and tell your wonderful testimony to these people.
Good evening, Perdita. Thank you so much for all that you do. We want you to know how much we appreciate you. And I am so excited about my X39 patch. And I'm excited about the whole concept, the wellness issues, the healing that comes with within your body, your stem cells. I started out, we had a trauma boot camp at our church, and I was introduced to the patch then. And when I was having traumatic, terrible sciatic nerve pain, which I had suffered with for 48 years after my last daughter was born. And you know how you just live with pain, you get so used to it, you live with it, you take Tylenol, you take whatever, and it becomes a part of you. And you even call it your pain. This is my pain. But anyway, I was introduced to it that day. A lady explained it out of Baltimore, Maryland, came in, and she had us line up and try the patch. There was 30 people. Well, when I got in line and they put the patch on my back right there where my sciatic nerve was. But I can't even begin to tell you the pain that went with this. I couldn't bend, I couldn't move to my right or left whenever I wanted to. I had to move whenever the pain allowed me. I couldn't sit too long, I couldn't stand too long. It was just miserable. But she put that patch on me, and within 3 to 5 minutes, I started moving and dancing and bending over. I could touch my knees. I could do everything that I used to do. I felt like a new person. I couldn't begin to tell you that. And then as I went along, I noticed other things. I had the vein surgery where they tie off certain parts of your vein because of severe leg cramps. And I had those ever since I worked in the bank, starting in 1978. And I just managed them with different things that tried holistic stuff and stuff over the counter. But I do not have those leg cramps. I sleep all night. The benefits are just unreal. My husband was a snorer like Verdita's husband. He had chronic neuropathy in his legs and feet. He stayed home in the house from May to October. He was not able to go out to church or anywhere. Only place he went was the doctor's appointment. And I came home and I put the patch on him. And within 15 minutes, I was looking for him to see how he was doing. He was gone. And he came back after about 30 minutes. I said, "Where did you go?" He said, "I just had to ride down to the pond to give God some glory and get out and praise him because I had not been pain free since he had had this neuropathy and his back surgery in 2004. So we have gotten such great benefits from this patch that I just wanted to share it with everybody. So that's what I did. I asked him, how do I get started doing this? And that's how I got into business. But do not take it lightly. This little patch is a miracle worker. Thank you, Verdita, and I won't take up any.
Well, Gwen, we thank you so much for that wonderful testimony. But more importantly, the way you are sharing it with so many people. This lady is a true servant. She's helping everybody that she meets or she already knows. And I mean, I feel like her hands are anointed because it seems like everybody she puts a patch on, they get results immediately. So thank you, Gwen, for all that you do. And we also have Gwen's daughter on the line because she has an amazing testimony. Miss Angela McMillan, would you please unmute yourself and share your video as well?
Hold on. Okay. Hello, everybody.
Hey.
My name is Angela, and I want to tell you guys a little bit about the patch. When I got on the patch, when I actually seen the patch, I was there that same day my mother was. We were at our church, and well, for me, I that Friday that Thursday before I had went to the to this conference, I was in such pain, and me and my husband had a conversation that I was getting ready to. I told him I just can't deal with this no more. I can't function like I should. We were contemplating going on disability. That's how bad I was. Well, that Friday we had a conference at our church, and I went to the church, and what I heard was they were talking about the patches, but what stuck out to me the most was inflammation. And because I had just been diagnosed with mixed connective tissue disease, and not to mention I got a knee that's bone on bone, and I have arthritis. So with all of that being said, I was in pretty bad shape. I couldn't hardly walk. I couldn't walk from my bed to the kitchen. I was just, and I would have to, I was still working, but I was working from home. And then what I would do is get up, go to work for an hour or two just to be seen, and then go back home, and I would have to rest the entire week in the bed. I just couldn't function well. So when we got the patch, I kept hearing about the inflammation because the doctor was telling me, Angela, you need to go get you some massages. You got to do this. You got to do that. They were giving me medication, but the medication that they were giving me, a lot of it wasn't working. And because I had just been diagnosed with it, and so they hadn't found the right fit for me. But so I put on the patch. Now, at first, that same day, I couldn't even lift my arm like this. I couldn't do that. Couldn't even lift my arm no higher than this. So I put on the patch, and a few hours later, I could feel it in my neck and in my shoulders. And the next day, I was able to start lifting my arms up like this. And to me, that was like a miracle because I hadn't been able to do that for weeks. And then, not to mention, I was able to start walking like I should. My body was no longer in as much pain. I went to the doctor 3 days later after I had my patch and didn't even realize it. But my blood pressure, my doctor said, Angela, what you been doing? I said, what do you mean? She said, do you realize that your blood pressure is normal? She says, let me check it again. So I said, yeah, check it again, because my blood pressure hadn't been normal in over 2 years due to the fact my body was in so much pain. It was always making my blood pressure be super high. And I told her, I said, well, maybe it's not because of this patch, but not to mention my body is not in the pain that it was in. And she was like, wow. And ever since then, and I've been going to the doctor because I got to go to the neurologist and all that stuff, just so they could try to figure out what's going on. And ever since then, my blood pressure has been normal. And that's a blessing. Not to mention that I'm back up. I'm a beautician. That is my field that I'm in. And I've been doing it for 34 years, but now I'm able to even actually get back behind the chair. So I just, give God all the glory for meeting this patch. And Vegeta, I'm not going to take any more time. And I just want to say thank you, because you are a blessing to our team.
Well, thank you, Angela. And once again, I'm so glad you're just another miracle that we hear about every single day. And think about this. If you all had not been at that church conference, you might not be in the condition that you're in now. So I just want everybody else on this call to realize, what we have our hands on. I'm going to share my screen now to get back to the presentation and just to, let you know that once again, we just made it simple for you. Okay. Now, once again, you can go to this website called thisisit.info.com to learn more about this patch, because we'd be here all night just telling you all the things this patch does. But the doctor's reviews, the case studies, more testimonies, and the founder himself on a video, stuff like that is on this site. That's where you're going to do your due diligence if you want to know more. Now, right now, I'm going to ask you to put your business hat on, because, we've told you about how we decided to be ambassadors, how we share this with other people, because that's all we do. We just go around patching people and seeing what's going to happen to them. It's just like little kids in a candy store. We're just patching people, right? But do you know that we're literally getting compensated for doing that? And that's because Lifeway is a company that's a word of mouth company. You would not hear about this on TV or radio or anywhere like that, because they don't advertise. They use us as their advertising. They always say that word of mouth is the best and fastest form of advertising. So our company is a 19-year-old company. It'll be 20 years old in October. And when he first came out with the energy patch and continued to do all these other create all these other patches, they were being, sold in doctor's offices, and they were also being used at all these universities, as I said. So the company was hovering over $20 million for about 16 years. And then all of a sudden, this patch, the X39 came. This is the masterpiece. When the company exploded, look what happened in the last 3 years when this patch came out. the company exploded to $320 million. And now they ended this past year at 430 million. Before you know, we will be $1 billion company because we literally are the fastest growing referral-based company in the world. We're in over 75 countries. And so this is not a Me Too product that you can go to any company and get nutritional products or weight loss or skincare. This is not that kind of thing. This is a very sophisticated, patented product, okay? And because I told you about all the momentum we have, we are #1 in the world as documented on this site called businessforhome.org. And so we're really proud of that. And I want you to look at this page right here. And I want you to think about your life and what's important to you. Is your family important? You know, if your family is important, wouldn't you want to be around when your grandchildren are, you know, adults? And so that when they come over to see you, you're not on a, you know, maybe in a wheelchair or a cane or in the bed sick. You don't want to be that. That's what I think about when I think of family. Time freedom, to be able to do what you want to do, when you want to do it, how you want to do it. And then security. Do you realize that, you know, my husband and I, this is what's near and dear to us because we're self-employed. And guess what? I told you I'm an interior designer. He's a business consultant. So we're self-employed. And, you know, we don't want to rely on the government because Social Security may not even be around based on what you hear up there in Washington, D.C. So we're wanting to take our lives and our financial stability in our own hands. Being able to travel, you know, go wonderful places and pay for that in cash and stuff like that. So we're here also to get that better health and less debt out of the way. So let me tell you how you're going to be compensated as you share with other people. So let's see here. We've got some people on this call. I'm just going to use, let's say this is you, whoever you are, this is you. Let's say you know somebody that has bone-on-bone knee issues, and you tell them about this patch and they try it and they say, oh, how can I get some of those? They're going to say that. And guess what? We're going to show you how to get some of those patches to them. But when they purchase these patches, they can be part of your team, and you're going to be creating a left team and a right team. And we call this a binary structure because binary means two. So let's say that person with the knee problem, you put them on your left side. Let's say you know somebody that, you know, having issues with their heart, and they hear this information and they want to try some of these patches. They can follow your right team, and you just keep going, and you can tell this to as many people as you want. But the first 4 people that you share this with, and they fall into this structure, they will help you reach a goal called being a manager. And why is that significant? Because now you're set up with the structure that's going to allow you to start getting those team commissions, and you can earn up to $25,000 per week in this binary. And there are people that we're working right alongside of on a daily basis that are making this kind of money just in this way of pay, because we do have other ways that we get paid. And I'm about to tell you one of my favorite, which is the matching bonus. Now, this part of the compensation plan is unlimited, meaning you can tell as many people as you want to. You can tell 1,000 people if you want to. And every single one of those people that come on board with you, as they earn money in the binary, let me back up a minute on that binary. This is paid to infinity, meaning every single person that follows you, because this person with the knee, they might go and tell 50 people, they all fall under you. This person, you know, they had the heart issue, they may enroll 75 people that go and start using these products, and you get paid residual income on these people. And every time they place orders, you get paid on it. Now, hopefully that opens your eyes up when I say this person right here that you enroll, they fall on your first level. Let's say that person went and earned $1,000 this week in the binary, because remember, there's a lot of money falling under you in this binary, and you're getting 25% every time they earn money. Let's say they made $1,000. You'd make $250. Isn't that incredible that you can make 25% of whatever they earn in the binary? But let's suppose that's $250. Suppose you had 10 people that did the same thing, that at $1,000, that's $2,500 this week, in 1 week, just on those 10 people. But guess what? Those people obviously had to introduce it to other people in order for them to earn money, right? That means there's people on your second level, and you're getting 20% every time they earn money in the binary. And when those people share it with other people, that's your third level. and you get 20% on those people as well. You guys, that's 65% being paid out on every order that comes through there. This is a lot of money in this compensation plan. Now, how are you going to get started with the X39? I told you that I'm going to share with you how can you get some of these patches. I know that's the main thing you want to know. Well, this form right here just basically tells you the information that's going to be required to get you these patches. Basically your name, address, because you're going to get a free website. You're going to get, we're going to need your name, address, cell phone number, date of birth, stuff like that. And how are you going to pay for it? And what we want to let you know is you could just, if you wanted to, you can just get to Brenda or anybody else on this call who may have invited you and say, can I just try a 30-day supply? Well, they can sell you retail $150 to do a 30-day supply. But a better deal is this. Let me show you what a better deal is. If you said, instead of me paying $150 per 30-day supply, and if I got 2 of them, that's $300. Would you rather get 3 for $300? And that's what the silver pack is. It allows you to get the X39 at wholesale the way we're getting it. In other words, you can get it for the same price we're getting it. But the benefit of you doing this is now you're in the binary and you can start sharing with other people and earning money as well. Because as soon as you start having the results that you're getting, you're going to start telling people. Okay. That's what happened with me and my husband. When he stopped snoring, we couldn't believe it. We started telling everybody. And in 1 week, we had so many people wanted these patches, you would not believe it. But now you're now in the silver. Now that's just enough for you and your spouse and maybe a few people you want to give 3 or 4 samples. That's all you're going to get out of that. But if you get the gold pack, that's $500. But now you got 5 of these 30-day supplies. So they're $100 per sleeve. Now the gold pack also puts you in a position to get promoted to the manager level that I talked about. If you had to start out at the silver, meaning you did not have enough money for the gold, you just pay the difference and upgrade to the gold at your convenience. That's a difference of $200, but that also gives you 2 more packages. So that's no penalty for starting out at the silver and upgraded to the gold. There's no penalty at all. Now, the last package I want to highlight is my favorite. It is the most popular. It's called the Diamond Pack. This is the pack where you get it at a discount, a bigger discount. In other words, you're getting the sleeves at $84 a sleeve now. In other words, you're getting 19 sleeves and you're only going to pay $1,600. So you're getting $300 worth of patches for free just because you got the Diamond Pack. Now, the Diamond Pack with those 19 sleeves, it enables you to have more people to patch. It enables you to have a little bit of inventory because people will ask you, how can I get some of those right now? Literally, I had a lady in my kitchen, and when I was telling her about it, she wanted, how can I get it right now? Went right in my inventory and got her a whole 30-day supply, sold it to her at $150. They will do that. But also with these packages, this is what's going to happen with the Diamond Pack. If you enroll another diamond, you would normally make, if you're a diamond, you'd make $500. If you're not a diamond, let's say you're gold or silver, you're only going to earn $200. And the difference of the 300 rolls up to the diamond above you. And people will ask you, and that's what happened with us. What package did you and Harvey get, Verdita? I said, we got the Diamond Pack. Well, that's what I want. So we had 5 people in 1 week that wanted the Diamond Pack. That was $2,500. That was more than what we invested to come in. All you have to do is open your mouth, get them exposed to this information, and they're going to want to know more. Now, let me tell you another thing that you need to know. We want you to maintain your subscription, meaning every month you want to order at least 1 sleeve to stay on the sleeve. You got to stay on this product yourself, or 2 sleeves. That's the recommended amount. If you get 1 sleeve, it's going to keep you active and it keep your points. See, in that binary, the way you earn money in the binary is when people under you continue to order these products, and you get, and you could, if you have points yourself, you can earn money, residual income in the binary. If you get 2 sleeves, you not only do you get to keep your points, but you can max out the compensation plan, meaning you can make over $100 a week. When you only have 1 sleeve, you can only earn $100 a week. That's the criteria. But with 2 sleeves, you can max out the comp plan. There's thousands of dollars that you'll be losing. I mean, I see people because they just whatever, they weren't doing 2 sleeves and they lose the money. And so, but here's the thing about getting that Diamond Pack. You don't have to do a subscription for 90 days. You're active for 90 days. So that diamond pack carries you for 90 days. And by that time, you will have probably sold or used up all these patches. These patches are flying off the shelf. I guarantee you in 90 days, you will be rid of all their inventory. Now, the way we give these patches out to people, we put them in this beautiful packaging, this little envelope with a card on the front of it. It has the benefits of the X39 on the back. It tells you, you know, how you can get more information, how you're going to place the patch, all that information. And we just put a few samples in there and give them to people. But this website right here, this is at team.com, is where you want to go to learn more about how to do the business. We have a system in place. And if you hold tight with our team, you are going to be successful if you're coachable. You have to be coachable and not try to recreate this, because we have a system. Now, it's time for you all to make your move and make a decision about, you know, making your, you know, realizing your dreams. But more importantly, we know that this technology, X39, can help you with everything in your life. On that page, we told you about your family, your security, your time freedom, everything you can ever want, you can get through this patch, because it's going to give you the financial freedom to do that. It's going to give you the health benefits that you need to sustain your life. But with that being the case, I want you to know, we're talking about travel. We have a trip, an incentive trip coming up to Punta Cana at a 5-star resort. It is fabulous. And all you have to do is earn points by enrolling other people. You can, you know, upgrading your package to a higher pack, all kinds of ways that you can accumulate points. Many of us are qualifying to go to that. So we want you to, this contest only started about 2 weeks ago, and we have until September the 1st to qualify. So why not go ahead and roll your sleeves up and tell as many people as you know, and you're going to be accumulating points, you guys. In addition to that, we have a convention coming up July 19th and 20th. If you want to learn from the best, you know, from the top people that are going to be training us. You know, my husband and I were fortunate enough to be one of those trainers last August. And we'll be at this convention this year as well. So you can go to thisisitconvention.com to get your ticket, and, you know, room and board and everything included in a package, or you can just buy the ticket individually. But this convention is something you do not want to miss if you want to make a lot of money in this company. But David Schmidt himself is going to be there, and he's going to be one of our speakers. So you see how important this is for you to be there, you guys. And so with that being the case, I just want to thank all of you for jumping on this call tonight. Please get back with the person that invited you. If that's Brenda, if it's Gwen, who's on here giving testimonies, and Angela, just get back to them and let them help you get started. So we want to thank you for your time, and we'll see you all soon. Y'all have a wonderful night and a wonderful Memorial Day weekend.